Hey, what's up, everybody? So it's day 13, and we are tasked with stacking as many instances of a single item as possible. So I did this entire video, and the audio in it was very unstructured, and I was just kind of rambling on, and decided I wanted to cut all the audio and uh, redo it. So uh, the audio isn't exactly going to sync up with the video here. My apologies, but anyways, let's get started. So, um, at the beginning of the video, I start playing around with some dynamite, which is sort of the obvious choice for this challenge. It sticks to itself. You can stack it seemingly infinitely um, by you stack one on top of another, and then you pick up the bottom of the stack, place that on another one, take the stack, put it on another one, take the stack, and just keep repeating it from the bottom of the stack, and you can make them really tall columns of dynamite. Another way of doing it is by stacking the dynamite on the side of your gun, or the terrain modifier, um, and each instance of dynamite that you stack gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so um, you do that thing that Bro Zelly likes to do, where he creates these gigantic sticks of dynamite, and it's hilarious. So I play around with that a little bit. Uh, and then I started stack some platforms and very quickly get bored with that. So I decided I'm gonna stack some vehicles, but I'm not gonna just drive a rover up on top of another rover and make a ramp and drive yet another rover on top of that. I decide I'm going to try to stack things from orbit, because if you try to let's say you have a rover, you just printed a rover from a vehicle platform, but you haven't moved it yet. And then separately, you have another vehicle platform that you build a shuttle from, and you launch that into space. If you try to come back down onto the vehicle platform where the rover is, you'll just land on the rover. Um, what I find out is you can't quite keep that going. It won't stack like the dynamite. It won't stack like the unpacked equipment cubes. Uh, it won't really stack like any other item. The vehicles after the small shuttle on top of the rover, uh, additional shuttles just phase into the stack. Um, and so uh, we'll see at the end of the video what that ends up looking like. But for now, let's just cut to a time lapse. there it is. I think that's actually a very good example for the challenge. This is as many vehicles as you can stack, because you can't print a rover on top of a rover, or you can't print anything on top of you can't print any vehicle bases on top of other vehicle bases. I mean, you can print stuff on top of vehicle bases, but not any other vehicle bases. But there is a single stack occurring with the medium rover and the small shuttle. It's just everything else phases through that. Now, I wanted to note here that I am aware that you could just use the winch to continually lift objects onto other objects and that kind of thing. My take on the challenge was to stack things from orbit. So this was the end result of stacking things from orbit. They just sort of phase into itself, and I'm fine with that. I made my, jumbled mess of vehicle. So what I decided to do with the rest of the video was to take all the dynamite that I had made earlier and create the Bro Zelly style stack, and then to just lift myself up towards it and see what it looks like from the sky view. And we'll see how that goes. Yep, one way or another, I'm gonna die here. So, let's take this screenshot and blow ourselves to bits, or not, or do this. I guess the dynamite was so big. Like I said earlier, the size of the explosion does not increase with the size of the dynamite. It's just the 3D model of the dynamite is visually larger. So I guess I was far enough away from the dynamite, technically, for that to have not harmed me. But that's a pretty cool screenshot, so... yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So, with that, we'll, see y'all later.